The man, the myth, the legend, Harv. Well, he's really only one of those things, and that's a myth. Because while there are multiple, and might I add, pretty long scenes in the first Cars movie where he's speaking to McQueen through the keypad speaker here, and we're actually kind of given the impression early on in the movie that he's pretty important to Lightning McQueen's career, we never actually see him in physical car form. And no, there wasn't any weird, obscure magazine that released after the movie that showed him, or some sort of Meet the Cars bio where we are introduced to Harv. No, none of that. He's a complete mystery. So I have concluded that this is Harv. The keypad speaker itself inside of Mack, Harv lives within this. He is this keypad. I mean, literally, there is his name right there. We've never seen McQueen actually speak to anyone else through this mythical keypad. So who's to say that Harv doesn't live with inside Mack himself? And Harv also, side theory, could be just a figment of McQueen's imagination. And I don't know. There are some spooky theories out there, guys. I'm just going to put it out there. I mean, were the Lemons involved early on trying to manipulate and twist McQueen's career in a certain direction? They didn't want him in Radiator Springs because they knew if he befriended Mater would eventually come to London and thwart their plans. I really do believe there's something behind it. It all starts with Harv in the first Cars movie. So I feel like we need to do a deep dive here into this review, guys. This is going to be an absolute analysis, an absolute evaluation here of Harv. This is a custom, though. I will say that, unfortunately, Mattel never dabbled with Harv. I think this, could have been one of the best die casts, one of the best, especially in terms of wheelless, tireless cars they could have ever done. Yeah, I mean, a vehicle in and of itself, kind of like a floating saucer actually here. So yeah, 3D printed Harv is the best that we're going to do. So let's take a closer look here. Really love the craftsmanship here around the speakers. You got this one down here, a little mini speaker, and then the large one up there. Nice silver, kind of wear down or worn down, I should say. I mean, this is always popping, that very flexible, articulated system Mack has back there. Whenever Harv calls in, boop, pops in. McQueen's very attentive to his agent Harv. Yeah, Harv is the agent. You know what? We forgot to show where Harv appears in the movie. We have to treat him just like anyone else, right? I mean, Harv is Harv. And so there is Harv in the first Cars movie a couple different times. Of course, like I said early on, Harv has some scenes in the movie, and yet we never see him physically. Something's up with that. I always thought we would. I'll get to a couple more points on that later on in the video, but love that we have this down here. Now, this is, we have to remember, 2006 technology, so it's not as fancy. There's no iPads, there's no iPhones, there's no wireless, contactless stuff. I don't know. This is pretty actually innovative for the time, because you have the mute button here, I would assume, because that's like a microphone, but there's no like 3 spurts out of it. So I would assume that might cut, or maybe that's the volume button. I don't know. And then you have X here, which I would assume is the hang up button. And also, very innovative for the time. You have your 1, your 2, your 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and your star and pound buttons. That is a pound, by the way, if you guys did not know. I know when I was told back when I was a kiddo that this is the pound button, I was like, what does that mean? Like, it's a number symbol. But then I realized, oh yes, pound. Okay, 0 is here as well. Very cool. I like that 0 is here. But the best part about Harv is the kind of caller ID screen here itself. Again, like I said, 2006 technology, and yet this is a high quality 1080p, might even be a 1440 type quality pixelation here. And you could see there in one of the best, 1990s digital alarm clock fonts ever, HARV for Harv. But, if you rearrange those letters, you get Acer, like I was just telling you guys. I mean, it's close. It's not a perfect match, but it's close to Acer. So, like I said, I do think there is some sort of lemon tie-in with that. I would love to hear your guys' theories in the comments below. So let me know what you think and how, Professor Z and Miles Axelrod were kind of coding and basically manipulating McQueen from the start through Harv. Now, unfortunately, you can't press these buttons. It looks like you could, because there's like a little gap in between. They are like separate pieces, or made to look like separate pieces from the thing itself. It's not all molded together with the cracks there, but unfortunately can't press any of them in. So we can't really call Harv ourselves and see what's up. I love the texture on the back. Very nice, very realistic actually to what this might have been within Mack himself here. Now, unfortunately, it's not the scale. I wanted to opt for a larger one so we could do a full-on review here of Harv without, really twisting our eyes and everything like that. But two things we need to talk about here. Like, who would Harv be? Like, obviously, we have our theories and everything, but who would Harv be if Harv was a real car, if we actually got to see him? When I was a kid, I always thought that Harv was Chuck Manifold, or Chuck Manifold was, I don't know, like maybe a repaint of Chuck Manifold was Harv. I have no idea. It's because probably Chuck Manifold at the time was the most just nondescript, basic, dull car that Mattel has ever released, and now has been calcified as this kind of dinosaur within the Cars universe, in the sense that he has never been re-released. Such a random character. I mean, more random than some of those Cars 2 background characters, I feel. I don't know. Just Chuck Manifold's kind of a weird guy, because you would expect a lot of the cars that they have done, like before 2009 and before, if it's not a chase, it's pretty much been re-released. I mean, if you think about it, Easy Idle Pity, okay? Nitro-Aid Pity, Edwin Cranks, Greta, Milton Caliper. A lot of those kind of one-off characters did end up getting re-releases. Chucky had already been released in 2008 and did not end up returning after 2009. I guess you could say she did as a lenticular in 2010. So yeah, Chuck Manifold, kind of weird that he also didn't get a lenticular release, but more on that later. Or maybe, we'll carry that on into another video. Break Boyd here. 2015 release? 2016? 2015? I think this was a 2016 release, yes. Maybe he could be Harv, another very nondescript car looking off to the side, kind of sneakily, honestly, very sneakily looking off to the side. So maybe he could be Harv. Here we have Jen Tanzadan, who's basically just a gold version of Chuck Manifold. So not like I'm really adding anything to the conversation there. Kevin Riven, I could see Harv being a little more upper class. So maybe he's a Range Rover. Maybe he's an Audi like Jonathan Schiffko here. I could see either of these as options for Harv if he was an actual physical diecast. But maybe he's, Mo Revlin, just a soccer mom SUV. Who knows? I'm not going to assume. Maybe he's an old timer. Just make him seem like a big boy through the keypad screen. I mean, does McQueen even know what Harv looks like? Who knows? He seems kind of intimidated by him. So maybe it isn't Edwin Cranks, because we would assume that McQueen had to meet Harv. They didn't really have Zoom back then either. Now, Harv exists back in Mack here. So let's see if this will give us any clues. Not really. The kind of fold-out playset version of Mack that they did, the whole plastic one, does actually kind of have a reference to Harv there with the keypad, but this one, not really, guys. You know what? I forgot to say happy freaking April Fool's Day. This has been a blast of a video to make. I've been playing this actually for quite some time. I've never really done an April Fool's video in the past because I didn't want to like fool anybody, right? I feel like some people in the community take things a little too seriously, a little too for face value, and some things are meant to be taken with a grain of salt. And so I was like, I'm never going to like, oh my god, Race Damage Mood Springs is being re-released, happy April Fool's Day. No, like that's kind of cruel. I feel like people would have listened to it, clicked off before I said happy April Fool's Day, and then it would just go crazy, firestorm throughout the community. So I was like, this is perfect. Like, review Harv, like what the hell, the keypad Harv? I bet if people saw this on my video schedule, they think, oh, he probably just thought of a random background character car like Break Boyd, got a custom repaint of Break Boyd, like a brown Break Boyd, called it Harv and called it a day. Nope, it's the keypad. We're taking things literally today. But guys, that's all I have for this video. Thank you for watching. It's fun. Tomorrow, I don't know if I'll post a video tomorrow. Tomorrow I must post a short. Depends on how this video does, but there will be legit content. I mean, this is legit content. I really hope you guys did enjoy this and found some laughs within it. Every now and again, we just need to take our time and enjoy kind of something goofy like this. But you guys are the best. Enjoy spring. Full on now. April. I know it's technically March 21st, but April to me is the official start of spring. All right, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye now.